Okay. So going into now more of the rotation of each of the players, the roles and responsibilities of each of the players on the field, and the partnerships you're gonna have. Um, in the last slide, I didn't highlight this out, but a lot of times, or in many of the ways, we're gonna transition from a 4-2-3-1 into more of a 4-2-2-2, and this next slide kind of highlights that. We have our four defenders, back line, kind of two holding midfielders. Our wide forwards are going to tuck in, okay, to help mark central zones. And really, the responsibility of these two players is almost like we're in a 4-4-2. It's to cover the central zone. Um, their role here, and typically speaking, the 10 is in here, right, and 11 and 7 are in these gaps, right, and maybe even wider if we're attacking. But when we're defending, we're kind of going to have a relationship where these two players are responsible for this central zone. Okay, similar to the 6 and 8, they're responsible for pressing the central areas, and for them it would be the 4 and the 5 and the 6. Right, reading when the keeper has the ball, reading his body language, which way he's going to play, reading it early. All right, first you stay tucked in case he plays long balls, you win these knockdowns, or press from behind. But if he starts to play to one side of the field, we're now looking to rotate up, okay, to mark one of the center backs, or press one of the center backs, excuse me, and screening and marking the 6. So as the ball goes wide, for example, we'll play it down in here to the 4. 10 will, it might be a little bit more withdrawn, is going to come out to press in this area, and the 9 is going to come and screen or mark the 6. Okay, make it difficult for him to get the ball. The idea is to try to screen the 6 while you're pressing, but also read the threats, right? If you can screen passes inside. If the 6 is already in here, then you can take a different angle. It depends on which way you want to force the guy, but the idea is to try to get the ball out into the 2, to force him to play out to 2. So you want to kind of screen passes to the center zone first, while number 9 is helping in here. And we'll get to 11 as well, but 11 will be helping you to cover these passing lanes in the middle, as well as 8 and 6. Okay. And the entire line actually shifts over as the ball goes, but we're really focusing on the number 9 and number 10 right now. But the line everyone will shift over. The idea is to get the ball into this player, to force the ball into this player. The rotation, if for some reason this player just hits a one-time ball back, the rotation now is for the 9 to rotate out and the 10 to rotate in. So it's basically a yo-yo effect. One player is up, one player is back, and if they play it back to the keeper, that's fine. We get back to our starting positions, somewhere in here where we're basically, our line is set. We're not trying to chase any balls high up the field at this point in time. Maybe we're sitting in our defensive block, and these players are working to press these 3 players on the ball, force the ball wide into the wide channels, prevent any internal passes, right? Double down on 6 if we need to. So if the ball does go in here, okay, and then he tries to ping it into 6, and maybe he does, number 6 gets it. Can we put some back pressure from 10 to make it really difficult to win the ball off him and try to go to goals directly, right? We want to make the life of their number 6 very difficult. Again, communication or shouting is important. Players are telling what to do. We're reading the body language of the ball carrier to try to see what his next pass is. The only caveat when you go to press, and this goes for everybody, the one rule I say that I would like to implement is that you don't get beaten on a simple dribble. So don't over press, so that all he has to do is just touch the ball forward, and now it opens up the entire field for him to play long balls, to continue dribbling, to create a 2v1. Now you can isolate players. Do not over commit to the play. You want to kind of do a run at him in a zigzag pattern, make it difficult for him to really see where you're trying to force him to go. Ultimately, you are trying to force him wide, but run a kind of a zigzag pattern. Not trying to win the ball specifically yourself. You're trying to make the player make a difficult decision on the ball. Force it wide, and then we press again, right? If they try to play into us, we're really going to punish them, okay? So the objective of 9 and the 10 is really to mark these 3 players, or to press and cover these 3 players. And the last thing I'll add is that we're also trying to prevent them from switching. So anytime they try to switch, right, this player might open up his body. He might have gotten a pass from, say he got a pass from 3 to 5, right? We were in here. He got a pass from 3 to 5, and you're going out to press. Don't let him open up his body to the other side of the field and ping a ball. We really want to keep the ball on this side of the field at this point in time. Okay, so The idea when we are in these pressing zone is to force it back to the way it came. If it came from a wide zone into the central zone, we want to force it back out to that side. We don't want to allow them to see the field. So any player receiving a pass from here to here, so from a wide area to the central zone into your area, we want to prevent another pass out to the side or another pass across the field or a diagonal ball across the field. Force them to stay on this side of the field and make it hard for them to switch to the point of attack. So again, I'll just highlight one last time. Your job is to press and rotate to mark the 4, 5, and the 6. So one player's up, one player's back. Obviously, the job is to force the ball wide. Don't get beaten on a simple dribble. Double down on 6 if you have to. Prevent any long switches or any switches at point of attack. Try to keep the ball to one side of the field and make it easier on these guys to read the next passes that they're going to get.